In the annals of ancient Egypt, one name echoes through the corridors of time: Narmer. Revered as the first pharaoh of a unified Egypt, Narmer's reign marked a pivotal moment in human history, one that laid the foundation for 3 millennia of pharaonic rule. His name is synonymous with the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, a feat that transformed the political and cultural landscape of the Nile Valley. Before Narmer, Egypt was a land divided, separated into 2 distinct kingdoms: Upper Egypt in the south, a land of arid deserts and rugged cliffs, and Lower Egypt in the north, a fertile expanse nourished by the Nile Delta. These 2 kingdoms, each with their own customs, beliefs and rulers, existed in a state of constant rivalry and intermittent warfare. Narmer, a powerful king from Upper Egypt, emerged from this turbulent period with a vision to unite the 2 lands under his rule. Through military prowess and political acumen, he set out to conquer Lower Egypt, a campaign that would culminate in a decisive victory and the birth of a unified Egyptian state. Narmer's legacy is forever etched in the annals of Egyptian history. He is credited with establishing the foundations of pharaonic rule, a system of divine kingship that would endure for centuries. His reign marked the beginning of the early dynastic period, a time of unprecedented cultural and technological advancement. The Nile River, the lifeblood of Egypt, flowed through 2 distinct regions, each with its own identity and ruler. Upper Egypt, symbolized by the white crown, was a land of arid deserts and rugged cliffs, its people hardened by the harsh environment. Lower Egypt, represented by the red crown, was a fertile expanse nourished by the Nile Delta, its inhabitants enjoying the abundance of the river's bounty. For centuries, these 2 kingdoms existed in a state of uneasy coexistence, punctuated by periods of conflict and brief moments of unity. The rulers of Upper and Lower Egypt vied for control of the Nile Valley, recognizing the strategic and economic importance of dominating this vital waterway. Monuments and inscriptions from this era hint at the complex relationship between the 2 kingdoms, a tapestry woven from threads of cooperation, competition, and outright war. The division of Egypt into 2 kingdoms, however, was not simply a geographical or political one. It was also a cultural divide, each region boasting its own distinct customs, beliefs, and artistic traditions. Upper Egypt, with its capital at Hierakonpolis, was a center of religious power, home to the falcon god Horus, a deity closely associated with kingship. Lower Egypt, with its capital at Buto, worshipped the cobra goddess Wadjet, a symbol of protection and royalty. The desire for unification, to merge these 2 distinct identities into a single, cohesive entity, lingered in the hearts of many Egyptians. The Nile River, after all, flowed as one, connecting the north and the south in a shared destiny. It would take a visionary leader, a ruler of exceptional skill and ambition, to bridge this divide and forge a new path for Egypt. Narmer's rise to power coincided with a period of heightened tension between Upper and Lower Egypt. The balance of power had shifted back and forth for generations, with each kingdom asserting its dominance over the other. Narmer, a skilled military strategist and ambitious ruler, seized the opportunity to unify the 2 lands under his rule. At the head of a powerful army, Narmer marched north, engaging the armies of Lower Egypt in a series of decisive battles. Details of these conflicts are scarce, shrouded in the mists of time, but the outcome is clear. Narmer's forces were victorious, crushing all opposition and securing his control over the Nile Delta. The unification of Egypt was not solely a military achievement. Narmer understood the importance of consolidating his power and establishing a new order that would ensure the stability of his newly unified kingdom. He established his capital at Memphis, strategically located at the border between Upper and Lower Egypt, a symbolic gesture intended to unify the 2 regions. To solidify his rule and legitimize his claim to the throne, Narmer embraced the religious beliefs of both Upper and Lower Egypt. He adopted the titles of the defeated kings, donned the crowns of both kingdoms, and proclaimed himself the embodiment of Horus and Seth, the patron deities of Upper and Lower Egypt, respectively. Narmer's legacy as the unifier of Egypt is forever etched in the annals of history. His reign marked a turning point in Egyptian history, ushering in an era of unprecedented unity, stability, and prosperity. The unification of Egypt under Narmer's rule laid the foundation for the development of one of the most enduring and influential civilizations in human history. One of the most enduring symbols of Narmer's reign is the Narmer palette, a ceremonial slate palette discovered at Hierakonpolis that depicts the king's victory over his enemies and his unification of Egypt. The palette, with its vivid imagery and intricate carvings, provides invaluable insights into the events surrounding Narmer's reign and the significance of unification in Egyptian history. Narmer's reign also witnessed the development of a centralized government, a sophisticated administrative system, and a flourishing artistic tradition. He established a system of taxation, standardized weights and measures, and oversaw the construction of monumental buildings and temples, all of which contributed to the growth and prosperity of the newly unified kingdom. The unification of Egypt under Narmer was not simply a political or military achievement. It was a cultural triumph that forged a sense of shared identity and purpose among the Egyptian people. Narmer's legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of the Egyptian people, who celebrated him as the founder of their civilization and the architect of their greatness.